I am inspired by positive people who don't wake up on Monday morning and wait for Friday. I enjoy to be in the company of these kind of people.
2020 was a tough year for most of us. How was 2020 for you?
It was really a state of panic and insecurity. The news also in the media was not so helpful because they confuse us with fake news. I felt in panic because of the business. I was thinking that we're gonna have big problems because I knew that this virus affects especially the elderly.
Think that you are helping people from not only from your country but from other countries as well.
Our main business is in Austria, Romania, Slovakia and Hungary.
Who influenced you and gave you courage?
My business partner and support that I have from Austria, my mentor. I will be very glad and happy if everybody could have a mentor like him.
How you start this relationship with the mentor? What qualities do you look for somebody that you in return would search for somebody to mentee?
Self-determination, motivation, problem solving and critical thinking, active learning, resilience, to be optimistic, communication. As I have in my description, every good conversation starts with a good listener.
So, hello everybody, I'm Aurelian and my guest today is Cristina Lăpăduș. Today's interview is live for all early access members of Studylia. Feel free to ask questions you might have for Cristina in the chat. And I'm going to also ask her some questions that I have prepared here. And we are going to spend a lot of great time together today talking about different things. Cristina founded a business in the elderly care segment. And to help those in need can be really tough and also challenging, but also wonderful mission. Cristina says that she's always ready for a change, looking for opportunities with an enthusiastic spirit and an intuitive mind. She believes that every conversation starts with a good listener, and today I will try to be a good listener. So without further ado, let's start. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to add them in the chat, write them there, and I will read them for you. So Cristina, welcome to our interview. It's a pleasure to have you here. So the first question that I have for you is, if you and I were to meet in high school, who was Cristina in high school?
Hello, everybody. Who was Cristina in high school? Cristina was the girl at the end of the class in the back playing cards with the boys. The one that was annoying all the teachers. And that's why it was the reason why I have always problems and got in problems with my parents. I was always curious outside of the school about activities and sport and meeting other people, going in different cultures and so on. And I admitted that I really like to be in the center of attention, but also to be part of something, to be part of a team or to be part of a community. I have been and I am a practical person ever since.
Hey, that's really cool. So what makes you feel inspired?
What makes me feel inspired? I am inspired by the people, for example, who don't wake up on Monday morning and wait for Friday. I am inspired of the people that really are enthusiastic about their lives, their job, their families, their activities. Because being with these kind of people, it makes me feel also passionate and they are a kind of example for me. I'm also inspired by positive people, those who celebrate happily success and also greatness. And I enjoy to be in the company of these kind of people. I'm also inspired by the people that they know where they are going, who strive joyfully and accomplish their goals. And I'm inspired by the nature, by the mountains, by the joy and art of dancing.
I see. Okay. So from what you're saying, you are a free spirit, a rebellious one. Is that true?
Yes. As you can see, I'm inspired by everything that is positive and everything that surrounds me.
That's really cool. Well, let me ask you a question. 2020 was a tough year for most of us. I mean, I think for everybody that lives on this planet. How was 2020 for you?
It was a lot of panic in the beginning of the year, especially. It was really a state of panic and insecurity. I believe that not only for me, but I felt also in panic because of the business. I was thinking we're going to have really big problems because I knew that this virus affects especially the elderly people from Austria, our clients, and was really difficult for us to see the good picture and the solution in that moment. But we knew that we have to protect them in the first place, and also to protect our branch of recruitment, our workforce that we are placing them to Austria. The news also in the media was not so helpful because they confuse us with fake news. So it was hard every day to see news and to really know what is better, what is really true, and what we can do to have solutions as soon as possible. So yes, we encountered a lot of problems along the year, but the pressure and the fear put us in really creative paths, and we had to find very fast solutions. So it was, I think, a year of awareness.
I see. Okay, so talking about elderly people, because you said that especially because the virus was dangerous for them, can you walk us through how this business of yours looks like, and how do you actually help the senior people?
Yes, of course. Our main business is in Austria, in the whole Austria. We are taking care about the elderly. We have recruiting teams in Romania, Slovakia, and Hungary. So we are sending the workforce for the home cares. So our recruiting staff are going to the people's home and they take care of them. They are doing this like they are going 1 month, then they come back home, and they are doing this like a switch.
I see. Okay, so these people that you're sending, you said that you're recruiting them. I think they're prepared to take care of other people, right? So they actually follow some training or some preparation in order for them to be able to help those people, those senior people?
Most of them have experience already, and we are
Okay.
looking to experienced people. Yes, they are certified because they cannot work without a degree in nursing care, but they need to have experience. And most of them, if they only make a simple degree, it's not enough if they didn't had the experience, because at these courses they are not teach to make the practical things.
Got it. Okay, I understand. So that's a really interesting thing that you are helping people from not only from your country but from other countries as well, and you are actually sending people there to help those in need. Well, this is a really courageous move, and something really interesting, especially to operate between countries that are not really close to one another. I see the rebel spirit in you, and also the courage to embark on such a mission. Tell me, who influenced you in a positive manner? Who were 2 or 3 people that had the most impact and influenced you and gave you courage to do such thing?
In the beginning was my business partner and the support that I had from Austria. This was the most important thing. And during the way, I had my mentor, which helped me become aware of my journey and about the decision I have to take. He believed in me, he'd make me feel worthy and accepted and approved, which was very important for me during these years. It was not easy to be alone in this. Every time he told me when I did a mistake, he said like this: if it didn't get well this time, next time you will do it better. So this encouraged me to move on and to go on. He trusted my ability to learn and change and to improve. And I really think that my mentor is the best role model I could ever wish. And I will be very glad and happy if everybody could have a mentor like him.
Okay, that's really interesting because now you're mentioning mentors, and in the beginning of the presentation, you said that you were quite rebellious and you didn't like too much school and people telling you what to do. So can you tell us a little bit more about how you start this relationship with the mentor and how did it evolve? It's something that you do and to somebody and you go and say to them, hey, do you want to be my mentor, or it's something else?
No, I actually took part 4 years ago at the event. The event, it was made by a networking club, business club, and it was the best choice I took in that period because I was improving myself and developing in the business, but I really didn't have the chance to meet so many managers and business people. And this was an opportunity for me to find out how others are doing. And in these events, in these business networking events, I had the chance to meet other people that are having businesses, and the problems they are having the same like mine. And there I had the chance to meet my mentor, and we had the chance to work together as a team. We were the presidents of these groups.
Okay.
And there I had the chance to be more in touch with him, to work at the project. And for me was like, I really want to hear this guy. I really want to listen to this guy and to make like him, to start to be like him. I saw
Okay.
that it's really a positive way of thinking.
I see. And let's say that one of the people that are here with us today would like for you to be their mentor. What would be one of a few qualities, or what qualities do you look for somebody that you in return would search for somebody to mentee?
Self-determination, motivation. I think these are the most important.
Okay. Okay, that's really cool. Now let's take a step back and go back to the beginning of your career. I'm really curious, like when you started the business, and I know that to start a business is not easy. It's difficult. It's filled with uncertainty, and most of the time with a lot of unknown, and especially things that you prepare and plan at the beginning do not usually work as expected. Can you tell us what is the one thing that you would wish you had known when you begin your career, when you started this business?
I wish I have had the chance to learn from somebody how to manage teams and people, and how to avoid micromanaging. Yes, it's true. I actually really micromanage my teams for some time, and it was really not pleasant for me or for anybody involved. For me, it was really stressful to think about all the details. And for them, it was really stressful because they had the feeling that I do not trust them to do their job. I really wished I would like to knew how to highlight their abilities more.
Okay, and when you're saying micromanagement, can you give us some example what that means?
I didn't delegate my tasks. I took all the tasks and tried to do by myself. I didn't let them to take the responsibilities of the actions, situations, and work. I took all the responsibility of the mistakes, of the also from the results, and this was not healthy. Not healthy to grow up a team and a healthy team.
Okay. Okay, and so you're saying that for everybody that will decide to start a business, they should delegate as much as possible and trust their people. But where do you think it's the fine line between trusting somebody with a task and having too much faith in somebody that is not well prepared?
I think that if you are quite confident and if you do many checks, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. So you're saying that you would prefer to trust them and then help them if they make the mistake, and then try to improve, right?
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Now I know that taking care of elderly people it's a really tough market. It's a really tough industry, and also sending people and trusting them to do such an important thing, taking care for other people, especially in another country, is also extremely risky. How did you decide to actually take this chance to go into this market?
Well, I knew from my personal experience from my grandmother that help in this area is much needed. Anything when it comes about physical care to emotional care is required, especially for those who suffer from various medical problems or simply because of the age. My grandmother had a stroke 10 years ago and has been paralyzed since then in bed. In this moment, for example, for me and my family, it was very hard to go there to take care of her. Everybody have a family, everybody have a job. It's not possible to do this. especially when it's about an emergency case. So I realized that there is no quick service at hand in case of an emergency, which you can call. Therefore, I discovered there is a need.
Okay. I'm sorry for what happened, but yeah, I think that's a really powerful motivator. Um, okay, so now when you're building a team, when you prepare people that will get actually involved into this business, I guess you are recruiting, you are hiring people, and then as you said, prepare them and delegate tasks for them. Um, what are some skills that you are looking for um, when somebody applies for an interview in your company, in your team?
As I said before, it's very important the self-determination and the motivation, because it helps you to grow personally and professionally much faster and gives you much greater satisfaction, and also to become passionate about their jobs, their work. Problem solving and critical thinking are very important in our days, because it makes you feel more confident. It brings you quicker towards the solutions when it comes about a problem. So you are more in control when you need to make some important decisions. And also it makes you feel more to think more clearly and rationally and understanding the logical connections between ideas. It makes you see better the big picture of the situation. Active learning, this is also something very important, because you manage to be up to date with the new information in our era, because everything is changing from one day to another. Resilience, I think, enables a positive approach to work and embraces change and flexibility. To be optimistic, it's also very important. And I think that communication, it's an important part, because in my opinion, it saves lives. And as I have in my description, every good conversation starts with a good listener. So to understand the human needs, emotions, and desires, it has to be open communication with respect and empathy.
Okay. So you're talking about real life skills that like communication, problem solving, critical thinking, empathy, and a lot of these skills are not hard skills, are not things that you go in school and somebody's teaching them, and then you get to take notes, and then you take a test and you pass it or not, and you're evaluated against some standard scoring. Do you think that the current education system prepares people to take these skills, and if yes, in what classes, where can they learn these skills?
I don't think the system really teach all these skills above, because the courses mostly in the present do not cover the concrete practices and problems. And the biggest problem is the importance of the degree, not the real knowledge. It's important to have technical skills, of course, it's required, but without soft skills and without knowing how to work with emotions and all this, it's very hard. And I don't think the system really teaches us this. But of course, internet, Google, you can find any kind of these courses. So
Okay, I see. So let's say that somebody in the audience, somebody that is here with us or will see this video later on, would like to pursue a career similar to yours, to start a business in elderly care. What would be some advices that you would give to them?
that they have to work hard and not forget that they choose the attitude with which they do this. They, as I said before, it's very important the empathy. I will tell them that it's very important to have their own goals well established and to be aware of them and to be also satisfied with them and with their work and with the results they obtained. One
You,
important thing is to understand that nothing is for free.
okay. That I think that is really important. So you said nothing is for free. That's really interesting. What do you think about all these free courses, free thing that you can find online? Do you think that they work, or there is a something behind some hidden reason behind? all these free courses?
I think the hidden reason is because they introduce you to have interest of this. But I think this is a good way because it's something that the people can do for themselves. And introducing this, maybe for a person it's important to do this or that course or whatever, but
So let me see if I understand. So you say that these are good as an introduction, but
yes,
are they enough to once you finish them to say like, yeah, I'm ready to start, I'm ready to go?
of course not. You
Okay,
have to learn and to practice,
got it.
and you have to learn what you feel it's fitting to you.
Okay, that's really cool. So nowadays we see a lot of people talking about success, what success means, what successful people do. Uh, it would be really interesting to ask you about success, but I want to take one step further and ask you about failures. So, what do you think is the biggest failure that you had during your career? And the next question would be, what did you learn from it?
Okay, I would say two things.
Okay.
My biggest failure was while I was started at 20s in my career to believe in promising words without putting and having an agreement on the collaboration that I had, professionally speaking. But I think this is something that is valid in any area of life because for me, it made me feel I arrived to lose everything and to be really frustrated about this. Also, to be more aware about the business, the processes, systems, and when it comes about I don't know, the end customer, to take care and to check more often the results and to improve the processes and setting goals. This is also important that
Okay.
I was not so aware of.
Okay, so you say that when we are starting any business relationship or any career, we should be really aware of what's happening and not trusting 100% what we are told. Did I get this right?
Yes, or if you trust to have this as in a collaboration in one agreement to be written, everything to be written.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Now I got it now. So everything that you agree with somebody from a business perspective, it needs to be written down, right?
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's talk about this business market, this business sector, the elderly care sector. What do you think are some common myths about your profession or about the field that you are in that you would like to debunk?
When it comes about the elderly, it's that the people think that you can't do much when you get old. But I think it's quite the opposite. The brain should be stimulated even more just as any muscle in the body and kept busy with different activities.
Can you give us some example of what activities can you actually do to stimulate the brain?
For example, cooking, reading, activities like physical, if it's possible, whatever physical activities it's possible, I think it's very healthy. For example, if the person was a manager during the years, to try in to make something really practical with this person and to make them feel that they are independent, because if they feel this, then they are able to make for themselves.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So let me see if I got it right. So you're saying that as we grow old, as all of us do eventually, we get lonely or we get the feeling that we lost something because we are getting old and so on. And for most of elderly people, this can be really taxing on an emotional level, right? So somebody that will try to help them should remind them that they are independent beings that can handle the life themselves, and they are not something that always need to be taken care of, and for that reason they need to be involved in different kind of activities to stimulate their creativity, to make them think, and also to switch their attention from being old to actually doing something. That's right?
Yeah. Yes. For example, an animal could help them to
Oh,
be independent and responsible about something.
okay, got it. So they also need some responsibility just to feel that they contribute. They're really interesting.
Especially for the people that are alone, I don't know, they don't have kids or they don't have nephews and they don't have activity like this.
Okay, okay.
They are able to walk and to stay active. I think an animal is very helpful.
Wow, that's really interesting. Well, being active nowadays is a really interesting thing because due to lockdown, most of people were forced to stay inside. So being active might be something really interesting um, to do as much as possible, of course. So, if you could do anything to help these people more, to improve the elderly care at a really dramatic level, to change it all the way, what would that be? How would you improve the elderly care industry?
Seeking the technology is fastly improving. I would focus on the medical machines that can, for example, better monitorize everything what's about their health and offer data on their health. These machines should be user friendly because it's important for the elderly, so that how I said before, they can understand and use their functionalities and also gaining more independence.
Okay, so you're saying technology should be used more, and we should not be afraid to use technology more to understand what's happening, right?
Yes,
So I guess the future is actually really heavily based on technology
I think so.
and data. Okay, that's really interesting because like a few weeks ago we had this presentation, a part of Studylia, where we talk about data and how important data is for different career paths that you can choose. And now I see that even in elderly care, data, technology are really important and vital. Really, really interesting. Now let's talk about hiring, firing, and building a team, because I think most of our people that are here with us are interested in this aspect also, because it's really important. So I'm sure that during your career you had the chance to hire and fire people. And what do you think is the hardest part, to hire or to fire somebody?
For me, was to fire somebody. Yes, also hire, but fire was definitely harder, especially if I feel like I could have done more to help them grow and progress for themselves and for the company. I think if I didn't give them much freedom to grow, and I was really trying every time to let them see if it's really important how I feel, how our culture is, how our values are. And sometimes I had to fire people because I was doing everything on my own, and I missed, and other people had to pay consequence of what was really important to do in a team.
Okay, well, that's really interesting what you say right now. So you're saying that for somebody that is employed and goes and have a job and do all the things that they are required to do, they are not really getting so much pressure. But for somebody that leads a team or hires a team, all their decisions can have serious consequences, right? So if you, as a business owner, as a CEO, if you make a decision that proves in the end to be wrong, you might need to fire people. That's right.
Yes.
That's really really hard, I think. And how was it for you? How did you recover if it happened to you at one point?
I have to stop and to think about what I did wrong and why I really had to put this person out, and what was really my mistakes during the period when it was my colleague and my employee.
Okay, got it.
That was very
Okay,
hard. I think it was the hardest part in my job.
Okay, I think so. Yes, because it's really tough. So, what do you think that people should look when reading a job post? Right. So let's talk a little bit about people searching for jobs and they're reading the job ad, the job description. What do you think they should look for?
They should do more research about the company, about the company's needs, about the culture, to see if they match this company's values and if they can bring both results and the plus to as a potential to them and also for the company. For example, if the company entail empathy and care for others, candidates should really take that into consideration and to be honest with their own abilities.
Uh, guys, if everybody here in the audience have a question, don't forget to let your questions down below in the chat. We will also going to take your questions, so feel free to share any questions that you might have with us on the chat. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's move on. So, do you prefer to read CVs that are actually written in standard form, like Europas form, or do you prefer to read CVs that are created in a more creative manner?
More in a creative manner, because this shows how the person it is. I think for me it's more important to be in a creative manner.
Okay, okay. That's interesting. So, what do you think are for you some red flags that you are looking for when you're reading a CV? Where red flags means because of these particular reasons you will say no to them.
Okay. If, for example, there are no extra activities there, like projects or courses, because I want to see that person applying to the job. It's a person that takes initiative, care about their self-development, career, and wants to grow.
Okay.
Both
Okay.
personal.
So let's say that you have two CVs. You have somebody that did really good in school, but no extra activities, only 100% school focus, and a CV with let's say not so good results in school, but a lot of extra activities. Which one do you prefer most?
The one with extra activities.
So you're saying that being really good at school and taking a lot of lots of good grades is not that important when these people apply for the job.
It's not enough.
Okay.
It is important, but it's not enough. An internship, activity of volunteering, or something will help you much more, because for me, I would know that that person did something practically and it really helped him, and also see an improvement in his life.
Got it. Okay. So you mentioned that you're also looking in CV for courses or certificates. Can you give us some example of what certificates people in this segment in elderly care can have or are important when applying for a job?
For them, what it's important to have a degree in as a nurse, as a home care nurse, because they have to have one so they can work in Austria. But for our internal staff, for example, I don't necessarily ask for a certificate, but experience in recruitment.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So there are two type of people: those that actually care for the elderly, being there with them, and they will need to have these nursing certificates, right? To get to get all the information and experience, practical experience, to be able to take care of the elderly. And the other ones are the people that are recruiting and managing these people that are taking care of the elderly, and they need more recruitment skills and people skills.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Um, and this will be a more interesting thing because nowadays everybody is on social media, one platform or the other, and there are so few people that are not on social media. Do you honestly use social media for screening for candidates?
Of course. Who doesn't? Yes, I'm using, for example, LinkedIn, and sometimes Facebook, because it's important for me to see what they are sharing, what interests they have, and how they approach subjects on the online environment.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying that their behavior is really important, and being on social media and acting in a professional manner is also important. So what do you think, or for you, what is the best attitude the candidate that you are having an interview with should have during the interview? How they should present themselves during the interview?
They should be confident in what they are presenting, to be curious about the job, the goals, and the structure, everything, what the training, what they will have in the first part. They have to listen you active. I mean, they have to ask really on point questions, and I think this show me that this person is really interested in the job.
So I have to ask this question right now. So you're saying that part of the interview you expect people to ask you questions, not only you asking them questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you have any additional? Because this is a really interesting tip about interviews. Do you have any other tips and tricks for interviews for somebody that will try to apply on a new job?
Yes, that they would ask about the company's goals and the future plans from the company where they want to apply. And I said that the training plans, which is important for them, for me would be very important. And also the future team where they are going to work with who they are going to work. And I think to ask insightful question about these aspects, about the team, about the goals, about the company, about the approach, about the human approach.
Okay, okay. I see in chat that Gabi says that she's or they're agreeing with you, and saying that during the last interview they had, they felt like they were interviewing the companies, not the other way around. So really interesting, really interesting thing, because most of the time when you hear about interviews, you're expecting that you are going there and you are selling yourself, and selling yourself actually means or is said to us that it should be you presenting your skills, you talking about yourself. But now you're changing the game, because you're saying, yeah, well, that is important, of course, but what is even more important is that you are asking us ask questions. Okay, really interesting.
Because I remember interviewing one person who was over evaluating his abilities and skills, and in the same time, he knew nothing about the company when I asked him. And this was a really big minus for me.
So if I'm going to let's take for example, if I'm going to an interview and applying for your company, and I have read nothing about it, right? But I do have some knowledge about people skills. I do have some soft skills, but I have zero knowledge about what you are doing, and I only know about the name, right? Will that be a deal breaker?
I will not see this person that is really interested in the job, only in showing what he's good at and what a plus he can give us. But
Okay, okay. Cool, guys. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. And I'm going into my last chunk of questions that I have prepared for Cristina. So feel free. I'm gonna take some questions that you might have. So, what are the best resources that have helped you during during your career to grow, to evolve, to learn new things?
how I said before, I went to the networking events where I get to know other managers and other stories, the hands on work experience during my work trips in Austria. I went every 2 months to Austria, like 1 week or 2 weeks. All the people around me, and the will to create something better each time. For example, I was part of that business, how I said, business networking club around 3 years, and that I really was exposed to actual business people. And it showed me that the challenges that I had are universal and that I wasn't alone in facing obstacles. Like, for example, finding the right people for the right job.
Okay, got it. So you said multiple times about the importance of this networking event that you took part. So would you advise people to take part of these meetings of networking or trying to meet new people? Do you think that's vital for their development?
Yes, the social contacts are really vital. This
Okay,
helps to know that there are other people having the same problems and the same issues, and also it helps you to see other examples.
got it. Okay, so we have one question from Gabi, saying, "What was your hardest challenge in opening a business in a foreign country?"
Well, was not so hard to open the business because I had some contacts there that helped me, of course. What was hard was to bring our brand there and to make the people trust us because we were new in the market. I think this was the hardest challenge for us, to let them see that we are trustful and transparent. It's depending from a country to the country.
Okay, got it. So you're saying that to be known and to be trusted was really hard, right?
Yeah.
So another question from the chat is, what is the value of networking for you? And I think that would be like how much value these networking events do actually bring. You said in the beginning that you had the chance to meet a mentor. Any other benefits or the value for it?
For example, I learned how to present myself, how to speak open in the front of the people. From this networking club, I started to apply to courses like presenting myself, speaking, and all these kind of things that were missing for me because I was every time in my bullet in the back and I was never in the front of the people, and I had to speak in the front of, I don't know, 100 people, 200 people. And this was really important because this networking club, it was every week, and we had at 7:30 in the morning, at 7:30 a.m., we had to present ourselves in 1 minute, but to have a really good presentation that the people will come after to us, to want to know us better. And I think this was really a big asset for me.
Okay, really cool. So I think it's really interesting that you said that to be able to introduce yourself in 1 minute and also create interest is really hard. And I know that that's called an elevator pitch. When you're entering an elevator and you want to meet somebody, you don't have a lot of time to introduce yourself. So I think it's really interesting that you get the skill, and I think this is a life skill, right? Is a skill that you can use and anywhere, not only in the business, to be able to say, hey, this is me and this is why I'm interesting, or this is why you should talk to me. um, really cool. If you could have one billboard, like big one, with anything on it, and people seeing it all the time, passing next to it and seeing, what would it be on that billboard and why?
Would be something like, for example, what sets you apart can sometimes really feel like a burden, and it's not. And a lot of time, it's what makes you great. And it's because this is another way of saying, if it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger. And that's how I feel about a lot of challenges that I surpassed.
Okay. Would you also put your name on it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm asking because you said that in the beginning you had a lot of challenges with people trusting and knowing you, and with this billboard, of course, a lot of people will know you. Okay, and now talking about people knowing you and you knowing people, if you could have the chance to have a dinner or lunch with three people, either dead or alive, who those people would be and why?
One of them for sure would be my father, because he's not alive. he always saw in me more than I did. And to have a chance to say him where I am in the present and what I arrived to be. And because he believed in me, I arrived to trust myself too.
Okay.
This is one. Second will be a business owner from the 20s. For example, I don't know if you people heard about Walt before Mickey, Walt Disney. It is a storyline based on the book from Walt Before Mickey and covers the early years of Walt Disney's career. This portrait of this young Walt Disney follows his journey and from Missouri to Hollywood, and the way he encounters opportunities and tough deals and also growing romance.
Nice. Okay, so 1920s, really tough period for to start a business, but really cool. So if you would have the chance to have lunch with Walt Disney, the 1920 Walt Disney, what would be one question that you would like to ask him?
Interesting. I would ask him what made him to go forward with all the problems, situation, failures, and I remember he didn't have money to eat and difficult period. So yes, this is what I would ask him.
Yeah, I agree. It was really tough. So if you guys didn't see the movie Walt Before Mikey, Walt Before, that's the movie. Really cool movie. There is also a book, amazing book. So I definitely recommend it to you. Now, any other questions from you guys from the public? Because I have only one question left here, so feel free to ask any question for Cristina that you have. And until that those questions are coming, I have my last question for you. Where do people find you online?
People can find me online on LinkedIn, on the profile of LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I am easily to find there by with the name Cristina Lăpăduș.
Okay. We have one question from your notes saying, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, if we think about the year that we had with the pandemic and everything what was going on, I just want to see me tomorrow alive. I see myself, I will see myself in a family for sure in 5 years, having my dog. And I will see myself having or growing a business in Romania for the elderly.
Okay.
For the
So, same
Romanian
domain.
elderly.
So can you say that again?
I would have my in 5 years. I would have my company for the elderly people. For example, like home care for them. Not home care for them. Actually, a place where they can make activities and where they can live and they can be good treated.
Got it. Okay, really
Like
interesting.
like a retreat.
Another question from the chat is: have you ever considered other domains or businesses?
Yes.
Can you tell us which they were?
I always wanted, and I still want this, to enter a little bit in the IT services, to understand better how the services are, to understand better how software development team really works and how the people are working inside of this, how it's the connection between clients, managers, and the teams.
So you're more interested about the culture in the IT software companies, right?
Yes, and also about the technology part. I'm really curious how is this going and where we are today.
Yeah, obviously, because you said in the beginning of our interviews that you see that the elderly care business and technology going hand in hand. So yeah, it makes sense. Okay, I want to thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. I want to thank everybody that is here with us today for attending. It's a really cool to see a lot of people here and taking part of this interview. And remember, we are launching now with this first interview a series of interviews with different people from different domains. And this is only for early access Studylia early access members. So whoever sign up for Studylia early access, they have the chance to be here with us today. Studylia is the place that we are building, the platform that we are building today. We will launch it in this year, 2021. And with it, we want to change the way education works. And as you've seen today, some things are not taught in schools nowadays. And there are critical skills: communication, critical thinking, decision making, starting a business. Nobody teaches these things. And we want to build this environment where you can teach, where you can find out a lot of things. And we believe that we learn better when we sit together and we talk about it, and we have a group and we have a chat like we had right now, right here. So this is the spirit that we are putting into Studylia, and this is what we are building. And you are part of it as of now, being early accessors. And I will ask you if you could share this page, invite more of your friends to ask it, because only together we can build these things. We are here in these times where we are spread apart, but with the help of internet, we can actually rebuild connections. We can build groups and share knowledge. And Cristina said today how important networking is, how important meeting new people is, and learning from them, and only meeting one person, like it was with Cristina, meeting one person in this such similar groups skyrocketed her career, changed the way she saw different things and so on. And that is what we are trying to do with Studylia, and what we will do in 2021 and from this one further on.